So it's 6 o'clock. We're going to go ahead and get started with our meeting. I'd like to welcome you to the Town of Mocksville June Town Board meeting. We've got not a too full of an agenda tonight, but we've got a lot to talk about. We're talking about our budget and several other items. But before we get started, if you'll please join me in a moment of silence. Amen. If you'll please stand with me and face the flag and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Al, the first item is our conflict of interest statement.
Sir.
Please lead us.
Sure. Pursuant to North Carolina General Statutes and the Town of Mocksville Code of Ethics Policy adopted November 9th, 2010, amended as of January 6, 2019, and further endorsed on August 9, 2022, I would ask each of you before you adopt the agenda if there is any actual, potential, or perceived conflicts of interest with respect to any matter on the proposed agenda which will come before the Town Board of Commissioners for consideration and/or decision at this meeting. If so, please speak up and let the board know at this time before the agenda is adopted.
Okay. Anything? Okay. None being said, we'll move right on with our agenda. The next item is to adopt tonight's agenda. Are there any additions or deletions?
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to recommend that the commissioners amend the agenda to add item 9G. 9G under new business. Consider approval of amended agreement with Veolia in the amount of $1,296,147.
Motion to approve the revised agenda.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
So the agenda has been adopted. We will move on to citizen comments. If there's anybody here tonight that would like to speak, I'm going to ask that you come up, and you've got 3 minutes to speak. I think we have 2 people that have signed up. I'm going to ask Kristen Mears to come up, please. If you'll just state your name and your address right there at the podium.
Hi, my name is Kristen Mears. My address is 255 Claude Routledge Road. Good evening. I was hoping you could address why the town is no longer helping fund the library. My family is very active there, and I attend the library trustee meetings, including the one 2 weeks ago where the director said he made a formal presentation to you folks asking you to resume allocating some funds. At a previous meeting, the current library board chair, who's a former town board member, he said it's in the town charter that Mocksville must help fund a library. Now, I don't know the validity of that. I'd love to find out. But regardless, the other municipalities, Coolamy and Bermuda Run, donate to the library. Bermuda Run doesn't even have a branch. And Mocksville by far has the lion's share of cardholders. It benefits more than any other part of the county by having the main library branch be part of its historic downtown. The library staff even host events that support downtown businesses, like the Teen Trivia Night at the station this week. So again, I'm just trying to understand why you no longer send support there and advocate that you please reconsider. I'm hoping I'm missing some information or there's a good reason for this. Otherwise, it seems like a black eye on our town's reputation that the county seat, the home of the main library branch, isn't helping at all when other parts of the county are at least trying to give something. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kristen. Next, we have Todd Mears.
Again, yes, Todd Mears, 255 Claude Routledge Road. Luckily, she hadn't kicked me out yet. And I apologize, guys, in advance. I've not prepared a speech for tonight. I had quite a speech last night at the County Commissioners meeting, and if anybody missed it and hasn't seen it on YouTube, you're more than welcome to see an editorial tomorrow. It will be in the paper, I believe. I got confirmation today. A couple things I want to talk about is, I believe in the budget proposal of the town adopting our own zoning officer. And I agree, zoning and all our development and growth is obviously one of the hottest topics in Davie County currently. And it needs to be addressed. But with all what happened in Raleigh with the downzoning, on the county level. I don't know how that affects on the town level. I've not done my research on our zoning laws, if we're trying to modify zoning laws, but my understanding is with what happened on Senate Bill 382, we can no longer change zoning rules. So I'm not sure where our plan going forward is. And so I don't know at this time, with, do we have the money to hire somebody that we don't know what goes on forward with the zoning issues? If I work, obviously, all across the state, I don't know if we plan on eventually having our own building department for our own inspections, but I can tell you as a contractor, when I work in one part of a county and go to a city and we deal with different inspectors, it's a real drain on, it's government inefficiency is what it comes down to. The two departments, even in the same county, don't cooperate, and it creates a lot of delays in the inspection process, which of course cost runs, affects affordability of our housing. More mistakes are made because one inspector inspects it one way and one inspects another way. Doing my research for the county meeting, I believe in the May meeting, the county had a septic evaluation report done by a third party. And one thing that stuck in my mind was the main Mocksville interceptor line, I think, that goes to Coolme is at 70% capacity. And I think we have another line that goes down towards 64. But more alarming than that was the fact that the Coolme treatment plant is in a 100-year floodplain. And with the severity of storms we've seen in the last 5 or 10 years, a 100-year floodplain doesn't cover it. We're seeing 1,000-year floods. So I'm curious what would happen if we had a 1,000-year flood in that septic plant. Would Mocksville be in trouble? Because as we obviously are trying to battle this growth situation here with developers and new housing and the need for it, and are we thinking far enough down the road? Do we have a potential problem looming? Nobody thought Asheville would see what it did a couple years ago, and I think our municipal water supplies in Asheville still haven't recovered from the damage, and so just I'm not saying we don't need our own zoning department, but is it the right time? Do we have a lot of unknown questions with what happened in Raleigh, with the county, and with potentially other stuff to make sure that we are ready for that additional revenue spent with our tax dollars. Thank you very much. Appreciate
Thank you,
it.
Todd. Was there anybody else that didn't get to sign up on the list that would like to speak at public comment? If not, then we'll close the public comment section and move on. We have a public hearing tonight. The first public hearing is regarding our budget. I'm going to ask Lee if he'll present that public hearing.
Thank you, Mayor. If you'll remember last month, I presented the budget message along with the proposed CIP to you. After numerous meetings since December really, and talking with you about some of the things that you would like to see. So presenting to you for the public hearing tonight, a balanced budget at $11,087,740, keeping the tax rate at 29 cents per 100. If you'll remember, the significant increase in investment in the budget in the general fund is for street paving to allow us to be able to catch up and be more robust in what I think is a core service for any town. It does include a transition to an in-house planning director based on your feedback and based on feedback that I've heard from others as it relates to being able to get zoning permits issued and making sure that our ordinances are adhered to. This position does not include permitting. That would still remain with the county to try to be as customer-friendly as possible. The other part is a pay study that was implemented that would be recommended to begin in January, halfway through the year, to help us remain competitive with our positions. So that's on the general fund. The water and sewer fund is balanced at $7.5 million. I am recommending an 8% rate in water and sewer. And the unfortunate reality of increasing demands for us to make and treat clean water, which we should, but to meet federal and state regulations means that the days of free water are no longer there, and we have to keep up with those regulations. My hope is that, based on the Raftella study, over the next 5 years, we'll begin to tamp down that increase in cost over time. Part of which I think, hope we'll see with our new meters, our new wireless read meters. We'll make sure that we're able to capture the water that we have been producing and work with our customers with technology that will allow them to see by the hour the water that they've used. We haven't had that technology before. So there'll be some pain before the gain, but we're working to try to be much more customer friendly in that end. That's all that I have. We duly advertised the public hearing. This has been on our website for public inspection, and of course, we've had a hard copy here at Town Hall for public inspection. So at this point, Mr. Mayor, you're required to hold a public hearing on this issue.
Okay, so before we go back to the board, we'll open the public hearing. If there's anybody here that would like to speak in favor of the budget or against the budget, now would be the time to come up to the podium. You've got 5 minutes to speak. Okay, so we will close the public part of the hearing and then go to the board. Does the board have any questions for Lee on the budget? Okay.
At this point, Mayor, you may take action on the proposed budget, or you can wait to call another meeting. You just have to do it by June 30th.
Okay. So is the board prepared to adopt the budget tonight? We just need a motion as such.
So moved.
Motion from Rob and a second from Carl. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, the budget passes. I appreciate all the hard work that Lynn and Lee have put into this. I know we've gone over it several times, so thank you for doing that. We now have a budget. Our next public hearing is something that we have to do each year. It's called a Community Development Block Grant. Lee, are you presenting this?
Yes. Thank you, Mayor. As part of federal and state requirement soliciting any community development block grant for projects, we're required to have 2 public hearings. One has to be done annually. Our current one expires at the end of this month. And then if and when there is a desire to receive community development block grant money for a project, think SBA Home. Primarily, community development block grants for Mocksville have been because of economic development, building reuse projects. There's a requirement to hold a public hearing. So tonight meets the law. You have to have 1 public hearing on this project, and then another one would take place if and when we have a project that needs to utilize these funds.
Okay, so at this time, we will open the Community Development Block Grant public hearing. If anybody would like to speak for it or against it, now would be the time to do so. If not, then we'll close that hearing, and there's no action required by the board unless we do have somebody apply for the grant. So we will move on to communications from our boards, commissions, and agencies. I'm going to ask Connor Dixon up, Fire Department interim presentation.
Good evening, Mayor, members of the board. As some of you may or may not be aware, the high school, Davie County High School, has a high school fire academy program. And so with that program takes high school students that are interested in public safety and gives them an avenue to start working on their certifications towards being a North Carolina certified firefighter. Back in the fall, myself and Ms. Wooldridge, the Career and Technical Education Director, and Davidson County Community College began a conversation about how we could build a bridge between the high school fire academies program and the workforce. And that was through the North Carolina Community College System's Apprenticeship NC program. And so we began those conversations. We already had some interest from Mr. Dixon here about that. We just had to kind of build out this program. This was kind of a passion project of mine because the high school and the apprenticeship program is what helped me get started into public safety. And so being able to help build that bridge for the high school fire academy was important to me, and to help give young people like Connor the opportunity to learn more about public safety and to help springboard their career as a firefighter. So we began those conversations last fall. Met with the manager, pitched the idea, and we were given the go-ahead to go ahead with it. And we brought Connor in, and it has been a really good time having him with us. and I'm proud to announce he's completed the program. Will be graduating on Saturday, and he also has been offered a part-time position with us, and so very, very excited to see the potential that he has in his public safety career. So I'll give him a few moments to speak, but just want to say thank you guys for the opportunity for us being able to start building this bridge for public safety between the high school fire academy and the workforce. So.
Yes, like Captain CJ said, my name's Connor Dixon. I was able to complete the pre-apprenticeship program with Mocksville. This helped me grow into my career, what I want to do. I was able to go on calls with all the firemen and learn and be able to do skills and fight fire and all the cool things that I thought was cool. So I got to learn the station duties and what to do as a full-time fireman. So I thank the town for allowing me to do that and giving me the opportunity. Thank you.
Any questions?
I think this is a great thing. I think this might help us get some firemen in those positions that we need. But I appreciate Connor stepping up and doing this.
Yes,
This
sir.
is a good
Thank you
thing
for the
the town.
opportunity. So, thank you.
Thank you. So the next item on our agenda is a couple of proclamations. There is a proclamation for the 250th anniversary of American independence, a national celebration. On July 4th, the town of Mocksville is going to be having a special celebration where we open a time capsule and do this. And this proclamation may be read that day, but it may not. I'm not sure what the schedule is going to be that day. But if you would like to hear this proclamation read, please come to that event, and I'll spare you its reading tonight. We do have a proclamation recognizing Parks and Grounds Week. I would like to read this one. Our parks and grounds, the town of Mocksville maintains, they're very important to the town of Mocksville. Whereas the Parks and Grounds Department is an integral part of communities throughout this country, including the town of Mocksville. And whereas the Parks and Grounds Department provides a variety of services to our community, such as enhancing the beauty and usability of the town's parks and grounds. Whereas the Parks and Grounds Department is responsible for overseeing the maintenance of all town parks, fields, playgrounds, buildings, town cemetery, and 27 satellite locations. And whereas our parks and grounds provide a place for children and adults to connect with nature and recreate outdoors. And whereas the efficiency of the qualified and dedicated personnel who staff Parks and Grounds Department is materially influenced by the people's attitude and understanding of the importance of the work they perform. Now therefore be it resolved that I, Will Markland, Mayor of the town of Mocksville, call upon all citizens, patriotic, civic, and educational organizations to observe the week of June 14th through 20th as Parks and Grounds Appreciation Week. Chris, thank you for what you do. Thank you for all your workers and what they do. I had the opportunity to get to that first game on Memorial Day of the Davy Crockett's, and it was great seeing all the people out there, and I've heard great things this past Sunday that the entire park was full. So thank you for all you do. If you could please pass that on to all the folks in your department. So that concludes our proclamations. We will go to our consent agenda. You have that before you tonight. I just need a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Motion from Justin, a second from Jenny. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes. There's no old business tonight. Moving on to new business. I'm going to have Jeanette come up. We're going to consider Mocksville Tourism Development Authority Board reappointments.
Good evening, Board and Mayor. I am, for new business A, I'm like for you to consider Mocksville Tourism Development Authority. We have two reappointments. One would be Mike Barad for his 2-year term, and Caroline Moser from the Chamber for her 2-year term.
Any questions for Jeanette? We just need a motion for approval.
I just,
Motion from Jenny,
Second.
second from Rob. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And that passes. Thank you, Jeanette.
thank you.
The next item, item number B, consider resolution amending personnel policy. I'm going to ask Lee to present that.
Thank you, Mayor. As we go through the budget each year, our health insurance benefits become more and more of a topic as we talk internally. We're committed to being best in class as we can with our employees. Also being ever mindful of the public purse and understanding that the money comes from the taxpayers. In light of the cyclical nature of health insurance premiums and the changes that are taking place, it's just become impossible and impractical to be able to forecast health insurance premiums for retired individuals. More and more communities are looking at phasing that out of their personnel policy. This does not affect those who are currently either retirees of the town or currently within the town system. This would only be for new employees. And again, this is a situation in which it's impossible for us to be able to forecast what type of benefits, especially as it relates to our pool of other employees and how we can get the best rates.
So any questions for Lee?
They did the same thing.
If not, then we just need a motion to approve.
No, move that we adopt the resolution.
Okay, we have a motion from Rob, second from Carl. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That does pass. Moving to item number C, consider adopting a budget amendment. Lynn?
Good evening, Mayor, board members. There are a few budget amendments for the general fund to consider totaling $77,000. Explanations are included, and I'm happy to answer any questions for the general fund budget amendments.
I think this is on page 117 in your packet. Do you have any questions for Lynn on these amendments?
Move that we adopt the budget amendment.
We have a motion from Rob to adopt and a second from Johnny Fry. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? That passes. Lynn, item number D.
The enterprise fund budget amendments, number 13, pages 121 to 122. There's a few budget amendments for the enterprise fund totaling $28,500. And I gave explanations that are included on these if you have any questions.
Move that we adopt that budget amendment.
A motion from Rob and a second from Carl. All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? That passes. And finally, item number E, Lynn.
Pages 123 through 141. Lee and I had a DEQ audit / monitoring visit for a project grant on May the 12th. And overall, the review went really well. The primary follow-up item was to develop a new internal control policy focusing specifically on federal grant funds requirements, as the town's existing internal control policy focuses on more finance within the town office. But one thing I wanted to make clear was that the town was in compliance during this grant process, and the project was complete in 2024. So DEQ in 2026 calls this monitoring visit, and they needed to make sure that they had all the correct documentation for themselves. So I revised a policy, and so that's what's before you now. And then the town can use this for any other federal grant funding, which will maintain this policy.
So any questions for Lynn on this process?
Motion to approve.
Okay, we have a motion from Justin, second from Jenny. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you, Lynn. Next item, number F, consider awarding the bid for Highway 601 booster pump station. Lee.
Thank you, Mayor. If you remember, last month you adopted a project, not a project agreement, ordinance for the booster pump station, which is our connectivity with Davie County's new water treatment plant. So we do have a bid in. Chuck Willis with Willis Engineer reviewed it. He was good with it, but because of the amount, you will need, as a board, to be on record as approving this bid for contract.
So any questions for Lee on this, on the bid? We have a motion from Johnny Fry to approve the bid, and a second from Justin. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes. And then finally, we added to our agenda tonight, item number G. Lee.
Thank you, Mayor. You've got before you an amended and restated operations, maintenance, and management services agreement with Veolia. As a reminder, you approved an agreement back in October with Veolia to take over our water treatment plant operations and our wastewater treatment plant operations, and then also operate our pre-treatment program. I don't want to put my Public Works Director on the spot, but I will tell you personally that Veolia has done everything they said they would and more to be compliant with the state. And so in our discussions moving forward with our utility operations, it has become more and more difficult to hire people with the qualifications and the certifications needed to operate what we operate. Veolia has an opportunity to be able to, in essence, be a turnkey operation for us, to allow our Public Works group to focus more on street maintenance and other types of issues where Veolia would be on call. They would handle our water distribution system. They would still manage our water treatment plant, but they would also handle water line breaks, any type of water meter issues with residents. So it will be my recommendation for you all tonight to approve the amended agreement with Veolia to begin July 1. I had already budgeted this number in here, waiting for this. In fairness to our town attorney, we didn't get the agreement until Friday. He's taken a look at it. I'd like for you to approve this agreement in this amount, but authorize the town manager and the town attorney just to finalize the specifics of the negotiation of the agreement.
Any
And
questions?
if I've spoken out of turn, I want to give my town attorney the opportunity to.
No, Mr. Manager, you characterized everything properly, so it's before you.
Okay.
Based on that characterization by the town manager, I move that we approve the agreement.
Okay. So a motion from Rob, second from Carl. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That does pass. And then finally, communications from town staff. Al, did you have anything to communicate?
Not this evening, Mr. Mayor.
Lee?
I don't have anything else, Mayor, thank you.
Jenny?
Just congratulations, Connor, and congratulations on your graduation on Saturday. I'll be there. See it.
I just wanted to, again, kudos to all the staff, specifically, obviously, Lee, for great work on the budget. I loved the process that we went through this year. We did some extra meetings, but nothing that was ridiculously long, and as we have done in the past. And I think the ideas that we moved forward are great.
Great budget process. Connor, congratulations. Welcome to the Fighting Double Deuce. Glad you're here. Guys that know what that means. And go Crockett's, they're doing great. So if you haven't been out for baseball, come on out Thursday. Friday and Saturday this week, home games, so.
Same thing. Congratulations, Connor. Lee, thank you for the budget. Did a great job, and like Rob said, the process was seamless this year.
I agree, it's one of the best budgets we've had, and appreciate all the hard work. Also appreciate you going Mocksville Fire Department, one of the best in the state. So, congratulations.
And finally, welcome again, Connor. Thank you, Mears Clan, for coming out and speaking at public comment tonight. If some of those questions that you had may be addressed, Lee can help you with some of those. But thank you for coming out tonight. I just need, there's no closed session tonight. I just need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Motion from Rob, second from Jenny. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Y'all have a great night and a great summer.